Hey everybody, welcome back to Building Your Empire with SophieZo. I am excited for another amazing guest as we actually are beginning to come to a close of the year. Believe it or not, it's almost the end of 2022. And I'm excited to bring to you a friend and colleague, Gail Kraft. Tap into your personal power, embrace your personal purpose, and discover your profound potential right now. Gail Kraft, motivational speaker, podcaster, author of The Empowering Process, and thought leader coach, runs retreats and seminars offering various approaches for accessing self awareness, focus, and emotional balance for healthier and happier living. Gain higher self awareness, create smarter goals, and lower stress right now. Make conscious choices and take control of your life today. Oh my gosh, this time of year, that's really important because this is a stressful time of year. So Gail, tell me more. What is your best advice for business owners who want to scale to the next level and beyond?
Oh, so Sophie, first of all, thank you so much for taking time out and inviting me to your show. This is fantastic. You are amazing with what you're doing. So for folks, I know for me, so I'll go from my perspective and what I do with my clients. Going to the next level for me was learning that number one, the folks that you were friends with before are no longer your friends. Get over it. You're their boss now. You need to form a different relationship. And the most important asset that you have are the people. So step out of doing the work and allow them to carry the load. Let them show up and support you because they want to, because they want to. So
Oh my
believe that,
gosh.
yes, believe that they can do it and do it their way.
Oh my gosh, you are speaking to my heart and soul, girl, because that is what I preach to the choir all the time. Delegate, delegate, delegate. Build a team.
Yep.
Let the team do it. No micromanaging. Trust your team, trust their capabilities, and but as well as make sure you're communicating your expectations and deadlines and all of those things too. Give them a fair chance to step up and show and do you proud because it is a two-way street. But yes, oh, so much so. Leader, yeah, definitely let other people step up and do their thing and be the leader, be the CEO, the manager, whatever your role is, be you. Oh, I love it.
Yep.
So, reducing stress. I mean, obviously, if they do that, that's going to reduce stress. But what else? Because we know in today's world, stress is a huge factor that's inhibiting a lot of growth in all areas of life, not just the business. So, speak to your take on reducing stress with the purpose, the passion, and delegating to a team and letting them do their work. Talk about that more.
So oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, stress is created because of unexpressed expectations, right? And so you kind of touched on that when you said be very, very clear, right? About what you expect and why. One of the things that I did when I was in a leadership position was to communicate to my staff why it is important that we get this done at such and such a date, why it is important that we follow such a process. And I was open to suggestions for something better and something different, as long as they understood what the goal was. And then, of course, you know, keep track as to how they're going. And my job, I always thought, was to give them the tools, give them the training, and get stuff out of their way, right? Get stuff
Right.
out of their way. And that includes people, distractions, right? Out of their way. I have a quick little story for you. So
Okay.
I was running a project in a small little company called GE. And one of
Really tiny, just
really
itty bitty.
small company. And we had major upgrades to do. We had to replace servers, which meant, refreshing the software and bring their systems down for the weekend. And that meant I needed to know hour by hour what technical person needed to be available. The techie people don't like that. It puts stress on them. And then where I saw weak points, I wanted risk management plans. So, as it turns out, we had to pull out two risk management plans from GE's perspective, it looked like it ran smoothly because people were able to go home and get some sleep. They were able to come back when they were supposed to come back. And when there was a problem, we knew what to do. And so there seemed to be no blip in our process, right?
Right.
It was fantastic. So at the end, this is folks knowing what's going on with your team. Took them out to dinner, gave my team their bonuses, thanked them very much, and then took them to laser tag so they could kill me.
That is awesome.
So
Kill them off.
they relieved stress,
Absolutely.
right? So what can you do for your team, right? That if you're managing, let's say within a union, which I have done, there are certain things you cannot do because you're in a union, but you certainly can take your staff out for, a water ball game, right? The balloons and throwing balloons and water balloons at each other. And just there are things that you can do for them to relieve stress. And I don't know about you, but when I see my staff playing and having fun, I relieve stress, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love how you just defined your needing to know hour by hour who's going to be needed, not because you were going to micromanage everything, but because you wanted to have risk management plans in place so that if something went wrong, you had a plan to deal with it. And therefore, GE thought it went smooth as can be, and there were no problems. And you're back behind the scenes going, nope, we had two blips, but because I knew what was going on when
Right.
in order to plan for potential problems, not to micromanage my team and go, where are you? Are you're a minute late to your
Right.
hour? You were thinking ahead and making it a really great experience for everybody so that, like you said, got the job done. And yes, you had two fires, as we like to call them,
Right.
but you had the plan, you knew what to do because you planned for the potentiality of those fires, got it covered, got it taken care of so that it didn't shut down the whole process and put everything behind by any length of time of consequence. And then you rewarded your team both financially with a bonus, but with a dinner, with a fun laser tag game where they got to shoot you the ball
And they did. And they
and
did.
and just cut up and have fun killing the boss.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and that is, and I can only imagine what kind of loyalty that brings and what and develops. And the trust factor, of course, gets even bigger, and they want to work with you more. They want to step up just like they did because they got recognized for the work they did in multiple ways, not just with money, because not everybody's motivated by money. I
Right.
mean, a lot of people are, but many aren't. And to be able to go out and have fun with your team, that is so important now more so than ever, especially since we're most people are still remote, even though the
Right.
pandemic is more or less over. But getting together when you can get together in the same place in person can really, really finalize, not finalize, but really deepen that
Well,
bond and that trust and that work ethic that everybody, because when everybody's on the same page and working together smoothly, happily, and they're well cared for too, because that is so important. Caring for your team is just as important as paying them well, training them well, because if you are one of those bosses that says, "Oh, your kid's sick, sorry, Charlie, come to work anyway," guess what? You're going to lose that team member because that team member is going to say, "Sorry, Charlie, my daughter is more important than this job and this income because she's sick and she needs me." And
right.
if you have that space, if you have that kind of team culture to where they trust you, they know you're going to take care of them, and vice versa, it becomes similar to a family without being too close to where you have that too personal stuff going on.
Right.
And everybody functions and everybody steps up for each other. And when you have that kind of setup, that person who needs to be out because their daughter is sick, someone on the team or you yourself is going to step up and say, "I got you, girl.
Got
You
you
go
covered.
home, or I got you guy, because it could be a dad.
Right?
You know, you go home, you be with your kid, we'll cover for you because y'all have that kind of relationship, and you have the processes and procedures documented in a way that anybody can step in and fill the spot temporarily and know what they're doing and not screw the pooch on it all.
That's correct. That's correct. And so you brought up, the fact that many people are still remote, and I think that's going to stay. And there was one team that I had, and this was also at a small company called John Hancock. Um, that
Man, you
that
work for the tiniest companies, girl.
I
Woo.
know, really teeny weeny. And I had a team that one of their responsibilities was to develop and be creative. So once a month, I would take them into a conference room and have, pizza and soda, whatever they wanted to eat brought in. And after we ate, we would play Pictionary. Now
Oh,
you can
wow.
play Pictionary, right, remotely.
You can.
After, right after we played Pictionary, then we would have a strategy meeting, and the ideas that came out for creativity would blow you away. I had to record those meetings because we couldn't keep notes fast enough.
Wow.
Yes,
That
yes,
is amazing. Oh my
yes.
gosh.
So there you go, guys. There's a couple of ideas that you can take that will help you because it's fun as a boss to bring fun to your team,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. Fun is in this day and age is really crucial because there's just so much going on in life. Even though the pandemic is kind of sort of mostly over, there's still other things going on in people's lives that make, stress, and I don't care what you say, personal affects business and business affects personal. It is a two-way street, back and forth. They are not separate entities. So when
Nope.
you can take care of your team when they're working, and they know that they can, when they're off, that they're taken care of because you're not going to fire them for having to
Right.
take time off. They know that they have that relationship with the job and the manager and the company, that they know that you've got their back. It makes for so much better productivity, growth, revenue increases, and then of course, you could get to reward them with, raises and bonuses and other fun things that just, keep that momentum going. And it is something you have to keep doing again and again. It's not once and done. Oh, well, we had that one party at Christmas, and so everybody's good for the next year. It's like, no, 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 no.
No, I
It's
did
an
those meetings
ongoing thing.
monthly. Yep, yep, yep. And you mentioned not being able to really separate your personal from business. So I have another quick story, so I'll make it quick. I had someone that was working for me that I know loved her job. She loved what she did, and she did a fantastic job. And I noticed that she was not really like all in lately. So I called her in and I asked, honey, speak to me. What's going on? Well, her and her boyfriend had moved together and they were not able to make ends meet. And so she was looking for another job and she was depressed because she didn't want to lose this one.
Mm,
But she was
yes.
looking for more money, right?
Right.
So, and I'm sorry, I can't take care of that. But what I did do was ask permission. I said, talk to your boyfriend and let me see if I can take a look at your expenses and your budget and see if I can help you out with this. And if I can help you out with at the end of the week, you still have play money and you're paying your bills. Will you stay? And she said, well, of course. Well, they had money just like oozing out their fingers. It was so easy to put them on a budget, and they had plenty of play money every week, right?
Right.
It's just like, no, you don't have to go out to dinner every week, every night, right? Here's how
Right.
you right. So there are ways to reduce the expenses that are not necessary. And I got a happy employee back who loved her job and did a fantastic job at it.
And that is so awesome. And that is the kind of culture and management and leadership we need these days. And I know there's lots of people out there that have that same philosophy. And I'm really, this is such an exciting topic to bring to my people, to my podcast audience. I know they are just eating this up. So Gail, it's about time to wrap it up. My people, I mean, we could talk forever, but
Right?
we got boundaries here. Um, please tell my people where they can find you, where they can get, in touch with you, learn more about you, and potentially work with you to create these kinds of cultures, processes, and teams in their business, in their world, so that they can scale to the next level and beyond and do it happily and joyfully for all.
For all. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Gail Kraft, Kraft, Gail Kraft, just like the cheese, but not related. And you can find me on Facebook as well, Gail Kraft 77. So it's gail.craft.77. And if you reach out to me, I don't know you, so let me know that you saw me on Sophie's podcast, and then I'll reach out and let you in. If I don't know you, I'm like, this is another sales call. Also, I have given you a link, so please do share the link for a complimentary session. And so if you want to know whether or not working with me is the right thing to do, just schedule a half-hour meeting with me. You will experience what it's like to have a coaching session with me and how I approach problems, leadership, and resolutions.
I love it. I love it. And all those links are going to be down in the show notes. So go check out the show notes to get those links. Definitely get in touch and go check Gail out. She is an amazing woman and coach and person, all of those things. And she brings that in everything she does. So thank you for stopping by once again. I hope you all have a great rest of the year. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and let us know what you think. And Gail, we will see you later. And all my folks out there in the podcast world, I will see you next week.
Happy holidays.